All right, so in this video, we're actually going to take some time and really talk about the user input. And I didn't specify this in the last video, but in here I am going to. And really, what I want to emphasize here is this slider input. Okay, when we created the app, when we run this, what it does is it creates a widget. Okay, I'm going to open up in the browser. Okay, we call this sliding bar a widget. Okay, and so there's a lot of widgets that exist. Okay, but what a widget does, and I said this in the last video, but let me give it more detail, is that it's a mechanism that allows the user to communicate with the server. Okay, by you selecting the bins, by you specifying the bins, you're able to control the number of bins that appear here. Okay, so that's cool. Okay. Again, there's a lot of different widgets that exist, but in this particular video, I'm going to highlight two different ones. Okay. So this particular one is called select input. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste this. And what you need to do if you want to copy and paste it is within the sidebar panel. Okay. Underneath that, you see it says slider input. What you're going to do is add a comma underneath slider input and paste that. Okay, I'll make this wide, and I'm just going to press enter here, and then press enter here. So let's explain what's going on here. Okay, so this select is going to be what is going to be saved into. It's going to be what we save. Okay, select. Okay, that's going to be the name of it. And so here, what the user is going to see is going to be select one of the boxes. Okay, so the user is going to either select choice 1, choice 2, or choice 3. Okay, and the default is going to be choice 1. So whatever the user selects, it's going to be saved into the word select. I can change this to be selected. I can change this to select 1. It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go ahead and reload the app and let's see. So as I said before, select box is going to be what the user sees. They can either select 1, 2, or 3. So what happens here is that the information that is selected by the user, say for example choice 2 is going to be saved into selected and then passed into input. But notice we are not doing anything with that information in terms of this plot. So therefore nothing changes when I go back to my application. So nothing changes because I'm not using that information. Okay. So that's really something to note. Another big thing to note is that you have to save this information as a list. It has to be saved as a list, the actual choices. Okay. So let's say you say, let's change this up and say apple, orange, and grape. Okay, so this is going to allow us to change that. And once I reload that, my choices are now changed. Okay, it's quite nifty. Okay, another thing that we can do or talk about, exit this, okay, is the two-sided slider. Okay, it's very similar to the one-sided slider, but you have two sides. So let me just go ahead and copy and paste this. I'm gonna put a comma after select input. I'll press enter here so I can see everything at once, and I'm gonna explain what is going on here. So for this slider input, I'm going to call it slider 2. It doesn't really matter what the name is. It can be slider _ 2. It doesn't really matter. Okay. And what the user is going to be seen is it's going to be seen as slider range. So wherever it says label is going to be what the actual user sees. And its min is going to be 0. Its max is going to be 100. And it's going to initially start at 40 and end at 60. Okay, so let's just change this up. Let's make this 1,000, and it's originally going to be at 500 as the min, and the original max is going to be 550. So let's run our app and let's see what happens. Okay, our min in general, the total slider range is from 0 to 1000. Where it starts from initially is from 50 to 550, and the slider range is what it's named. Okay, again, since we're not using this information within the plot, we're not using this information within our server, so nothing really changes when we make changes to this slider plot. Okay, that's something to note. Okay, so these are two nice, easy, straightforward widgets. But if you click here on this on the PDF, this is an actual gallery of different widgets that exist. You can do checkbox, you can do date range, you can do radio buttons, you can do numeric input. You have a lot of choices. And say if you are even more advanced and fancier with even more complex widgets, there's another website that allows you to even do more, not complicated, but more cool looking widgets. So that's cool. So you can take a moment and look at those websites on your own time. So I'm excited for the next video, and thank you all for watching.